Folks, we're all still trying to process the death of Lindsey Graham overnight, the senator from South Carolina, and I thought I would shoot another update video on the latest. And I think the best perspective that I have actually seen on this has come from Hunter Biden, the internet's newest, best, frankly, poster. And I wanted to read this out because I think it's a good place to start the conversation as we process what happened to Lindsey Graham, whether you liked him or not. And before I start reading this, make sure you're subscribed down below. Please engage with this video. Appreciate you guys so much. From Hunter Biden, quote, "When I heard about Senator Graham's death last night, the first thing I thought about was not all the things he said and did in service of Donald Trump. I thought of the time before Donald Trump when he was a brother to Senator John McCain, a time when senators from different parties could fight about politics and still be friends, a time when conservative Republican from South Carolina could say of my father, quote, if you can't admire Joe Biden as a person, you've got a problem. He's the nicest person I've ever met in politics, as good a man as God ever created. That is the Senator Graham I will remember today, not because I have forgotten what came after, because in that memory there is hope. Hope for a country where brothers can fight like hell over policy and still share a meal and a laugh and the loss of people they love. I would choose to remember the time before Trump because I believe in an America after Trump." And that is very well said and a very nice sentiment from Hunter Biden, who frankly has so many reasons to dance on Lindsey Graham's grave if he'd like to. I mean, Lindsey Graham talked repeatedly about how Joe Biden was on the verge of death. Joe Biden has outlived Lindsey Graham, even though he's more than 10 years his senior, and all the attacks from the 2024 campaign and before, which were disgusting and disturbing. And so if anybody had a reason for a grievance here, it's Hunter Biden, and Hunter Biden is turning the other cheek, and good for him. And I think with Lindsey Graham, part of the struggle here is like, look, he's been a hack for Donald Trump for a long time. He's a huge part of the reason we're in this quagmire in Iran right now that's destroyed our economy. In my opinion, he betrayed the United States by being used as a tool of Bibi Netanyahu and his right-wing government, which is disgusting. But he also represents the complete and total takeover by MAGA of the Republican Party, because Lindsey Graham used to be somebody who, even if you didn't like him, and I would never particularly liked him, seemed like somebody who had some substance to him, seems like he had some values and some backbone. And you would see that every now and again. He was a consistent defender of the cause of the Ukrainian people, which I appreciated even in the face of Donald Trump. Well, he probably could have stood up a lot harder to Trump, but he basically just gave in to the Trumpian style of politics in order to secure his relevancy, because he has nothing else in his life, which is sad for him. And now he's gone, having never found, I think, any moment's bit of peace in his life. But it's sad. And I just want to show you like how far he's been corrupted here. Like listen to the way that Lindsey Graham used to talk. This is from, I believe, around the 2016 campaign.
If you can't admire Joe Biden as a person, then it's probably you got a problem. You need to do some self-evaluation, because what's not to like? Here's what I can tell you, that life can change just like that. Don't take it for granted. Don't take relationships for granted. I called him after Bo died, and he basically said, well, Bo was my soul. We've talked for a long time. He came to my ceremony and said some of the most incredibly heartfelt things that anybody could ever say to me. And he's the nicest person I think I've ever met in politics.
Is that right?
He is as good a man as God ever created. And we don't agree on much. But I think he's been dealt a really gut blow. I think he focuses on what he's got to do, not what he lost. His heart's been ripped out, but he's going to make sure that the other members of his family is well taken care of. And he started talking about his grandkids. More worried about them than anything. We just talked about the future.
Yeah.
He started talking about the future of his family.
So, you know, that's a lovely clip. Like, that's the way that normal human beings and colleagues should talk about one another, even if they have disagreements. But this last 10 years of American politics that was shot in 2015, so 11 years now, basically, have been some of the most corrosive that we've ever experienced, both because of Donald Trump, but also other factors that are at play here, social media algorithms, con artists, people like that, Elon Musk buying Twitter and things like that. But it's been so bad. And Lindsey Graham could have chosen to be somebody who continued to stand up to that in the way that, Mitt Romney has, or Joe Walsh has, or other Republicans who have disassociated themselves from the MAGA version of the Republican Party. But Lindsey Graham didn't do that, right? Like, he sold his soul to the devil. The devil in this instance is Donald Trump and whatever dark forces that are out there. I know people have long speculated that there's some blackmail on Lindsey Graham, and that's what's happening here. I don't know. I feel like those things become convenient excuses to just take away from the fact that these people do not have any moral core. And so my question is, when I see a clip like that, and I'm like, wow, there's a decent human being inside Lindsey Graham. Well, was he acting then or is he acting now? And that's the bottom line. You never really know, okay? Because every now and again, you have somebody in politics that you profoundly disagree with, but you find that they have some level of core to them. And, there's just, they let you down. A lot of people in American politics have let me down, have let you down. I think Lindsey Graham is one of them, because this is somebody who could have stood up to Trump, and he did. And this is also somebody who, is, and I just think it's important to continue to note this, is a massive neoconservative. Okay. He is a big part of the reason we launched the war in Iraq. He's a huge part of the reason we launched this war in Iran. I would argue, if you had to list out the people responsible for this, he's in the top 3 to 5, period. Literally flew to Tel Aviv to get talking points from Bibi Netanyahu to convince Donald Trump to launch this operation, which Trump doesn't even want to do and can't find a way out of. This morning, he was lying about the Strait of Hormuz being open again, because the markets are going to open tomorrow. The Strait is absolutely not open. They're bombing again. And Lindsey Graham is probably, sad in the afterlife because he's not here to see it, because he lived for this shit. And it's sad. And again, I'll come back to Hunter for a second. I'm not one to dance on somebody's grave. I'm not going to mourn him either. It's the same way I feel about Mitch McConnell and whatever the hell they're doing there, where they're covering up his age and health at this moment, and we don't know if he's a brain dead vegetable or something else or God knows what. But I'm not gonna dance on their graves. And I'm glad that Hunter Biden didn't either, again, because he's got a right justification for it. But it would be great to really start to think about and talk about more what a post-Trump world is going to look like. Because we've talked about the gerontocracy problem, particularly as it relates to McConnell, but also the Democratic Party has the same issue, is whether they want it to or not, whether we want it to or not, the change in American politics from now to 2029 is going to be tremendous. Because more of these people are going to die. More of these people are going to retire. We're going to get a new front runner for the Democratic and Republican nominations, which means 2 new political parties, a realignment in America today. We are rife for one. People are tired of this moment in politics. Like, if I had a nickel for every time a Republican or Democratic member of Congress has died in office in the last couple of years, I'd have enough for a Coca-Cola. I mean, this is screwed up. I mean, this is just not right. People are sick of that. They're sick of Citizens United. They're sick of our bullshit campaign finance laws. They're sick of being inundated with fundraising emails and texts. They're sick and tired of the government not doing anything except for helping the Epstein class. Like, I know I'm on my soapbox here, guys. I mean, you're watching a political YouTube channel, but it's just... That's what this is. This is just highlighting that, like, this era is ending, and instead of ending swiftly, it's ending with, like, death by 1,000 cuts. And right now, the death by 1,000 cut today is Lindsey Graham's death, which is genuinely shocking, and there'll be a lot of speculation about it. But I mean, I hope we get the truth. I hope we get an autopsy. I hope we get, like, a true medical report. Like, I would appreciate that, just to quell any concern that people had. I mean, if you had a heart attack, you had a heart attack. It's not an unusual thing to happen, but this era of American politics is ending, and we've all got to be prepared in our own way with our own bit of usefulness to be part of the solution, because I think it can get worse from here. I think there are worse people waiting in the wings right now trying to take over the Republican Party in particular, and there's some not so good people on my side too that we need to be worried about. But let's keep at the work. Let's keep doing it. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure that you're subscribed down below. Please engage, like, share, comment, hype. All makes a huge difference. And then please click the bell icon down below to get an update the next time we post. Thank you.